she'll be the biggest female star ever because she can pull up from the parking lot.
She is a killer. She is stone cold.
Caitlin, man, she's a phenomenon.
She's the best female collegiate player ever.
Caitlin Clark is capable of magic.
By disclosing a startling detail about her Fever contract, Caitlin Clark is further redefining what it means to be a trailblazer in women's basketball. Known for her unparalleled skill and leadership on the court, she is now making waves off it as well. The basketball community is in a frenzy following the revelation of this shocking information, and to be honest, it's a game changer not only for Caitlin, but also for how athletes approach their careers going forward.
Knowing that before Caitlin was Rihanna and Diana and Sue and Rebecca and all of those, Dawn Staley as a player, where does it go? Can it continue to climb, and will it climb on the back of now Paige Bueckers?
For anyone questioning the Caitlin Clark effect, we now have people wanting to watch golf because of her. We saw the kind of offer that Ice Cube made to Caitlin to play in the Big Three. That is $5 million to play 3 months.
What specifically did the Iowa standout reveal, and why is everyone talking about it? She has always been ahead of her time, and this latest move shows that she is elevating basketball beyond just playing it. Let's explore this momentous occasion in sports history.
I'm so happy for her to get the $28 million.
Caitlin Clark's most recent contract with the Indiana Fever is just another example of her visionary nature. The recently disclosed information aims to establish a standard for how athletes can use their influence to mold their career journeys, not just about her. According to sources and Caitlin herself, Journey's contract contains a clause that permits better vacation accommodations, resources, and individualized support personnel devoted to her overall growth as a leader and athlete.
Caitlin Clark snags another honor. She's made the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Clark, who is just 22 years old, is the only professional women's basketball player on this list.
Caitlin's contract, in contrast to the usual team travel arrangements, guarantees that she can maximize her performance and schedule. The Fever understood that an athlete of her quality deserved the best, so they included flexibility to accommodate her needs. This isn't about luxury. Rather, it's about making sure Caitlin, one of the biggest basketball stars, can keep shining without needless interruptions. This is being able to select travel plans that reduce stress and speed up recuperation.
Higher than the NBA. So I was like, oh, what's she gonna get paid? Because finally, you can get a real paycheck. And then I saw it and I was like, this can't be right. Because this is what it is. In the first year, Caitlin Clark will earn $76,535.
However, that is only the beginning. Additionally, Caitlin will have access to a committed group of support experts. Trainers, dietitians, and even coaches for mental performance. This demonstrates the Fever's progressive approach by emphasizing player well-being and acknowledging the significance of both physical and emotional health for success. It's more important to develop a long-term, sustainable career for their star player than it is to win games.
Yeah, these are some of the comments right here. She doesn't need to play for that whack job. She should just buy a rivalry. Exactly. Kayla getting that type of bag. CC probably isn't this vindictive, but if it was me, if they wanted me outside, I'll demand a full retraction and apology from Gino for his comments on the Dan Patrick Show, which we'll get to that in a hot second.
Her teammates' responses to this news have been nothing short of amazing. For example, they have been outspoken about their support, which may have caused jealousy to surface, but instead there seems to be genuine enthusiasm in the air. The team as a whole benefits by Caitlin's presence, and her increased resources are viewed as a representation of the franchise's goals. In an interview, one player even made the jest that we should start winning more games to stay competitive if Caitlin is receiving all these benefits. Ori discussed Caitlin Clark once more, and from the management's point of view, this was an obvious choice. The contract was described by the general manager of the Fever as a daring move to redefine excellence in women's basketball. In their view, Caitlin is more than simply a player, she is a franchise. Fans of women's basketball have obviously had a field day with the revelation, as social media platforms exploded with emotions ranging from appreciation to lighthearted jests. This is a cornerstone and a symbol of their dedication to the evolution of the sport by investing in her development. Feeling jealous, Caitlin Clark just booked a first-class seat to the future of women's basketball, according to one particularly popular tweet. Another said, "She's living the dream, and honestly, she deserves every bit of it." There is a strong sense of pride in Caitlin's capacity to push limits and encourage others to set higher goals.
So Gino Auriemma talked about Caitlin Clark again.
But it goes beyond benefits and privileges. In interviews, Caitlin has made it clear that this contract is about laying the groundwork for long-term success, not just for her, but for her teammates in the league as a whole. She has expressed her desire to use these resources to boost her performance and win titles for Indiana. This is a goal that transcends her intense devotion to the game and personal gain.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA.
One player or one squad is not enough for this moment. It marks a sea change in the way that women's sports are seen and encouraged. Caitlin's contract makes a strong statement. Athletes should have their needs addressed in a way that prioritizes their growth and well-being so they can perform successfully on and off the court. Let's not forget about the ripple effect. Young athletes all over the world are watching Caitlin's journey and learning that it's acceptable to demand more because they're seeing a role model who's not just breaking records, but also breaking barriers. The Fever are setting a precedent that other franchises will surely follow. This goes beyond basketball. It's about leadership, empowerment, and having the guts to push the boundaries of what's conceivable.
Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark.
Naturally, a lot of change comes with a lot of responsibilities. This isn't just her victory. It's a collective triumph that demonstrates the strength of collaboration and creativity as we look to the future. Caitlin is aware that the spotlight is on her, but she is handling it with grace and humility. She is quick to give credit to her teammates and the Fever organization for believing in her vision. Beyond just being an athlete, Caitlin Clark is a trailblazer, a leader, and a representation of what can happen when talent and willpower come together. Her contract with the Fever is more than simply a financial arrangement. It's a proclamation of intent that women's basketball has a bright, bold, and limitless future.
The basketball. Watch Caitlin Clark, left side. She doesn't even look at her. Waves her hand as if to say, I don't care about you. I'm not defending you.
Caitlin Clark's path is especially noteworthy because of how this contract demonstrates her capacity to go beyond conventional bounds. By securing provisions that emphasize personal development, well-being, and long-term growth, CIN is demonstrating to young athletes worldwide that being exceptional on the court isn't enough, and that you can and should demand excellence off the court as well. The Fever's decision to fully support her vision is more than just smart business. It's a cultural shift. CIN is not just an athlete in the traditional sense. Women's sports have long been underappreciated, and athletes usually do not receive the funding or attention they are due. Caitlin's deal is a step in the right direction since it shows other teams, leagues, and even corporate sponsors that supporting female athletes is not just morally right but also financially advantageous.
It's player salaries. People wonder, why are NBA player salaries 100 times higher than WNBA salaries? Because the TV money was 100 times higher in the NBA than it was in the WNBA.
And Caitlin's audacious move is allegedly inspiring other WNBA players to explore at similar clauses for their contracts, and the ripple effect is already starting. Since Caitlin is paving the way for younger players in high school and college to enter a world with fewer restrictions and more opportunities, agents and teams are taking notice, realizing that this could become the new norm for superstar athletes. In a recent press interview, Caitlin stated, "This isn't just about me. It's about paving the way for the next generation to flourish in ways we never imagined possible." She seems to be acutely aware of the part she's playing in this broader movement, and isn't just fighting for her own development, but also for the advancement of women's basketball as a whole.
It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
And it goes beyond lip service. Imagine the impact of a player of her caliber entering a youth basketball camp and sharing not only her skills but also her mindset. That kind of ripple effect has the power to change lives. Caitlin has already stated plans to use her resources to mentor young players and take part in community outreach programs.
Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing in quite some time.
Like, whatever really happens with Caitlin Clark, I would say her big thing is to be ready for the WNBA season. And people are like, why? She's only making $70,000 in the WNBA. What is the point of her worrying about that league rather than trying to push for other leagues and other ways to make more money?
Naturally, detractors will always have their say. Some have questioned whether such special provisions undermine the idea of team equality, but Caitlin's strategy makes it clear that this isn't about entitlement. Rather, it's about pushing boundaries in a way that benefits everyone. Essentially, by being at her best and performing at her peak, she's helping the Fever win games, gain recognition, and draw in more fans. Caitlin Clark is a star on the court, a leader of fitness, and a true pioneer in every way. Her journey is far from over, and this revelation is just one chapter in her incredible story. Whether you're a fan of the game or just inspired by her drive, there's no doubting that she's making an impact that will last for years to come.